Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Extra Point. With me tonight, I have Patrick Driscoll, RJ Polite, and Griffin Barfield. Welcome back.
All right. Let's do this.
Let's do this. Hopefully this is our last episode on Zoom, and we should be back in the studio. We've got brand new equipment coming in, so pretty exciting stuff, guys.
Exclusive.
Looks unreal. I was in there the other day, and I was just like, I cannot wait to start filming in here.
Oh, I'll bet.
It'll be a good time.
It'll be awesome. I'm really looking forward to it, especially being someone who's been here since freshman year with the old equipment. Oof. Really looking forward to those upgrades, to tell you the truth. All right. Do we want to start with some college football pick'ems?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. Let's begin. Yeah, we got to begin with the American League. Let's start with the number 20 Cincinnati Bearcats at UCF. So, guys, what do you have taking this one? The American Athletic Conference.
Cincy.
Let's go Cincy.
Cincy. All right. Got analysis on this?
They're ranked.
Yeah.
That's some good analysis there, RJ. I you know what? That's top notch right there. I respect that. Patrick, do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. To be honest, I really don't like either of these teams. Last week, both of them just did not look good one bit, but UCF, they lost. They got routed by East Carolina last week, and we all know East Carolina isn't great. Their quarterback, John Plumlee, threw like three interceptions last week against East Carolina. And while I don't know, I don't like Cincinnati's offense either, but I still do like Luke Fickell. They still have only lost one game. They're pretty successful on the road. They're 10-1 their past 11 road games. I like Cincinnati right here.
All right, RJ.
Well, all I was gonna say, they ranked UCF. They're not even that good to me. I ain't really never heard nothing about them. And East Carolina destroyed them, and I know East Carolina is very bad. So Cincinnati.
Gus Malzahn, their coach, UCF, he's at Auburn. I mean, that's the only thing I kind of know about them.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, that's fair. Griffin.
I like Cincy as well. I'll keep it short and to the point. Cincinnati's only loss was against Arkansas, and they were hot. Ben Bryant's back. Last week he was a little banged up, so that kind of told this close score. He's healthy now. I think a Luke Fickell-led team will win on Saturday.
All right. Let's move on now to some ranked matchups. We're going to start with probably the game of the week. We've got number 2 Ohio State traveling to Happy Valley at number 13 Penn State. Noon matchup here. Who do you have taking this one?
Dang.
The Buckeyes.
Ohio State.
All right, RJ.
I was just looking at the game, and like Penn State, they got blown out by Michigan the other week. Ohio State never had a bad team. Like, they always find a way. At first I used to sleep on them, but I couldn't sleep on them no more. So Ohio State, I got them.
All right, Griffin.
I like Ohio State in this game. They're kind of all gas, no brakes. Penn State tripped up against Michigan. Penn State do have the home field advantage, but this Buckeye offense is nuts. I take Ohio State.
Yeah, I don't blame you one bit there. Their offense has gone crazy. Patrick?
Nuts.
I'll keep it short. Ohio State, year in, year out, doesn't matter who they have on their team. They still come out, they ball out. They show the rest of those boys in the conference how it's done. They're the big brother of the conference. No one's been able to overtop them. Penn State, they had their chance to perform in a big game. Michigan, they didn't look good one bit. And even though Penn State's at home, I just don't see them winning this one. C.J. Stroud and Co's going to take the dub by at least 3 touchdowns.
Do you think Penn State should even be ranked 13?
No, 35. Yeah. Not even ranked at all.
I mean, I would go against it. I think they I think if they're between what they are now and like 18, 19, and their only loss was Michigan, they kept it close until, Blake Corum and co kind of blew them out in the fourth quarter. So I think they're fairly ranked. I don't think they're over or underrated at all.
That's a fair argument there. That's a
Yeah.
fair argument. I get that. All right, moving on now to Big 12. We've got number 9 Oklahoma State and number 22 Kansas State. Oh, this is an interesting one as we've got Kansas State on the rise here with Adrian Martinez, their quarterback. Well, he got hurt last week, right? So that makes it even more interesting, guys. Who do we have here?
Oklahoma State.
All right.
Oklahoma.
Never easy pick there. Griffin, you want to start with this?
Like you said, Adrian Martinez is banged up. I think their whole QB room is pretty banged up, and honestly, I'd take Spencer Sanders over any of them. Oklahoma State and Kansas State are kind of like the 2 and 3 behind TCU for that Big 12 championship, and I think Oklahoma State has a bigger chip on their shoulder, so I'm going to go with them.
All right, Patrick.
Obviously, the beginning of the year, I was talking about Spencer Sanders and his turnover problems, but clearly he's proven me wrong as of late. He's just such a dynamic playmaker. I love the way he plays. Oklahoma State, they're on the road, but I don't think it matters. I think Oklahoma State's going to take this. Kansas State, like you said, like Adrian Martinez is banged up. We have questions about what's going on in the quarterback room, and that's not what you want when you're playing a team like Oklahoma State. So Oklahoma State's going to go in there, take care of business on the road.
All right, RJ?
I agree with both of them. They made some cool points. Yeah, like the quarterback room banged up. It's going to be hard for Kansas State to play at home. And like Oklahoma State, they ranked number 9, so they've been looking good, even though they had that one loss. So I just feel like Oklahoma State can pull it out, even though it's a away game.
Yeah, I think Oklahoma State's looked pretty good, honestly, throughout most of the season. So I think I'm not surprised that this is a sweep here. We'll see what actually happens. All right, moving on now to a pivotal SEC matchup. We've got number 19 Kentucky traveling to number 3 Tennessee. That's a fun one to say. Guys, who do you have for this one?
The best team in the SEC.
No.
Whoa, watch out, bro. Third best team in the SEC.
Again.
I got Tennessee, though.
All right. Patrick, want to start with that?
Yeah. I mean, I'm still a Kentucky fan. I like how Chris Rodriguez is back in action. It makes them a little more exciting to watch, but Tennessee, it is an exciting time to be a Tennessee fan. I'll tell you that. And their whole fan base knows it. It's a night game. This stadium is going to be rocking and rolling. Let me tell you that. It is going to be loud. Obviously Tennessee has so much momentum going with them right now. And if I'm Tennessee, I mean, obviously you want to take things week by week, but they're just going to try to sharpen up the most they can until they take on Georgia. So every week they're going to get out there, play hard, and I know they're going to have that game in the back of their mind. So Tennessee.
All right, RJ.
Tennessee just been looking good all year. I like them boys. Kentucky, I'm surprised they're not even that bad, to be honest, but I just feel like they can't hang with Tennessee when you got Mr. Hooker who might get Heisman Trophy. So I got Tennessee. But please, next week, do Georgia and Tennessee. Please.
Okay. I think that's like a 99% chance it's going to be on there. No worries on that. Griffin.
I like Tennessee, but I think it is a very close game. We're talking about a Will Levis who went to the swamp when Florida had all the momentum in the world, and he upset them, which was nuts. I just think this Tennessee defense is not safe to go with, but I think if anyone slips up on offense, it's going to be Kentucky. So I'm going to go with the Vols, but a very close game.
Ooh, interesting. I kind of agree with you there, Griffin. I think this will be a trap game for Tennessee, especially going into next week with Georgia. So
I think they're overlooking him too, because everyone has been talking about Tennessee to Georgia. I think that Kentucky's one of those teams that are kind of like under the radar that could give them that trap game, like you said.
No, definitely. But I think it will help them being under the lights in Knoxville too. So I think that's the only thing that will help them with that. So All right, moving on now to the hashtag game. We're gonna have a quick version of this. So let's start with some NFL news. Some shocking one, honestly. Starting with the San Francisco 49ers acquiring Christian McCaffrey. Guys, what is your hashtag on this? I'm going to start with RJ on this one.
I'm going to say, I guess it's dope to me because 49ers just pick up another decent player. I mean, he not bad when he injured prone, but he not bad. Wait, yeah, he not bad to be honest. But I know last week when they did get him, a couple of my friends had him in fantasy, and it was kind of hard for them to get some points because he had switched teams and they were kind of mad they lost their game. But that's a dope pickup. 49ers got a solid player, but I remember y'all say they line up gonna be nasty on Madden. So even real life too. So
I mean, honestly, all the important things, really. Oh,
yeah, you got Jimmy G.
He's got Jimmy G now. I mean, a competent quarterback. Like,
you got all these pieces. Like, it's gonna be hard to guard everybody, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, definitely. Griffin.
I'm gonna do hashtag tricky, and I'm gonna kind of like refer it to their offense. Their offense is gonna be very, very tough to kind of figure out. You got guys like Devo who can go run a wide receiver run. You got Elijah Mitchell who could put it up the middle once he gets healthy. McCaffrey's elusive. Ayuk's there. Kittle's getting high. I think this 49ers offense has a lot of different ways that they can utilize everybody and win. So I think it's very tricky for defenses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, definitely. I think it takes off the pressure of Jimmy G a little bit too, having a running back like Christian McCaffrey, which I think is really smart move on their part. Patrick?
I say hashtag win-win.
Mm-hmm.
Great points about the 49ers cause, but let's talk about the Panthers. Even with McCaffrey, they weren't going anywhere. I'm sure they already have their eyes set on the 2023 NFL draft. They're going to be picking up lots of talent. They got a second, third, fourth, and fifth round pick, which is insane. I'm sure they wanted a first, but it is what it is. It's still huge for them. And back to the 49ers, like I said, I mean, like RJ and Griffin said, the way they can mix and match this offense is going to be so interesting to see. Obviously McCaffrey didn't do too much last week, but that was like 3 days after he got picked up. Every time he touched the ball, I thought he looked great. I thought they should have gave him the ball more in the second half. And with another week under his belt with the new playbook, oh man, this is going to be exciting. I like the move by both teams.
Yeah, I agree. And I was going to ask you all, what do you think about the benching of both Mayfield and Darnold for PJ Walker on the Carolina Panthers side?
I like it.
Yeah, I like it.
I like PJ Walker, XFL alum. He's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice story that an XFL quarterback's getting success. That you beat Tom Brady last week. I think it's a nice, like, not like heartwarming, but a good pick me up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You beat the GOAT.
I mean, it's pretty cool. It's pretty neat. And I remember PJ Walker, did he play last year and made some shockwaves too?
A little bit here and there.
After Darnold got benched, they like put him in and he like did like okay.
Okay. I vaguely remembered that, but I was trying to see if I was correct on that. So that makes sense. All right, moving on now to our next hashtag. We have a never benching. We have the Colts benching Matt Ryan for Sam Ehlinger. Guys, what are your hashtags on this one?
Thank God.
Care to elaborate on that one, RJ?
Matt Ryan, he old. I mean, no offense to the old people, but like he trying to hang in there with Brady and Aaron Rodgers. I feel like quarterbacks now today are more mobile than they was in like the early 2000s and stuff. Like Matt Ryan is not really that mobile, and like looking at him play, he ain't the same person like he used to be. But they paid him all that money though, so he on the bench making all that money. So
I don't know. Griffin.
My hashtag is hashtag can't catch a break. this Colts, ever since Peyton left, they've gone through so many QBs, and honestly, they should have stopped at luck. But obviously, health comes first. But they can't catch a break. Wentz, Matt Ryan, I don't even know who. Phillip Rivers, I think, was on that team, and I think that, especially with the talent that you have on this Colts team, you have to have a great signal caller, and Matt Ryan wasn't it. This Colts team needs to find their QB.
Yep. Patrick?
I'm going to go in a little different direction right here. I'm going to go #strange. Yes, Matt Ryan's old. Yes, maybe it's time to move on. But the Colts paid this guy a lot of money. And now what we're going to see is him just sitting on the bench in the next 2-3 years, maybe. I mean, no one's going to want to trade for him. Obviously, the Colts don't want him getting hurt because I'm pretty sure that complicates some things with his contract. And it's just weird. The Colts are 3-3. I thought Matt Ryan, he can only do so much with that terrible O-line. So I don't know what Sam Ehlinger is going to do that really changes anything for this team. I think if you're paying Matt Ryan that much money, you might as well keep him in a couple more games. And one last point is this is going to take free agents interested in playing for new teams. No one's going to want to go to the Colts if they're just going to keep benching guys that they pay money for. So it's just weird.
That's a fair point. I mean, if you think about it, they are throwing Sam Ehlinger out there. You know what I mean? They're just kind of
throwing a deer in headlights.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Just hope the Colts run the ball this week.
Yeah, exactly. I honestly didn't realize they were 3-3. I actually thought they were 1-5 or something. So
yeah, they better than the Raiders. I don't know how. The Giants, I don't know.
And the Raiders aren't moving on from Derek Carr or anything. I mean, that's probably not on him, but it's not like they're moving on from their players. It's weird.
No.
Yeah.
It's an odd situation, but all right. Moving on now to the World Series. So it's official. Griffin, as he said last week, is the Houston Astros versus the Philadelphia Phillies.
I had to predict that too, right? Or no?
Oh, we got to predict it.
The Yankees.
That's why we're
Put the
here.
Yankees in there.
Oh, I know. The
Yankees.
There. Does anyone want to make their predictions on this?
Phillies.
You've got the Phillies.
Yep.
Phillies.
Who do you have, RJ?
Phillies.
Griffin.
I mean, it's America's team right now, but I think the Astros shut them down.
Oh,
my heart tells me how does that saying go? My head tells me the Astros, but my heart tells me the Phillies.
Yeah.
I just don't like the Astros one bit, and I'm hoping their momentum, their energy can somehow pull off a miracle. I mean, we saw Bryce Harper's home run, which was absolutely electric.
That was
they're gonna need every ounce of that energy to pull off this upset. This is like David versus Goliath. I thought whoever's won the AL was gonna win the World Series, but hopefully Philly can get it done.
This is low-key kind of like the Nationals, the Astros World Series 3 years ago.
Braves, Astros.
Mm-hmm. And so it'll be interesting to see if another NL East team can knock off the Astros in the World Series. See if it can be done. I'm kind of hoping so. I'm rooting for the Phillies, so we'll see what happens. All right, moving on now to some NFL pick'em. So we're going to start with tonight's matchup. Oh gosh, I can't believe it's Thursday already. We actually have a decent matchup here, though. We've got the Ravens at the Buccaneers. So, guys, do we have Tom Brady and the offense bouncing back after last week's brutal loss to Carolina?
Nope.
No, not even in Tampa?
Nope.
Oh my gosh. All right, who wants to start with this?
I'll go.
All right, go ahead.
I feel like compared to college football, home field advantage really doesn't matter unless it's temperature differences. I think all NFL players are just so experienced that the crowds don't get to them as much as college football. But to briefly summarize this game, the Ravens D-line is just absolutely going to attack the Bucs O-line. This year you've seen with them not having Ali Marpet and Gronk on the O-line. I feel like every single game, Tom Brady's either throwing a tablet or giving those boys a lecture. The running game and passing game just has not looked great as of late for Tampa Bay. And while Lamar's been struggling a little bit, he's still one of the best playmakers in the league. I think Lamar Jackson and company, they're just going to get it done. Lamar's going to make some big plays on primetime TV, and hopefully it's going to be actually an exciting Thursday night game.
Oh, let's hope. RJ.
I got the Bucks. I'm going against.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You just can't forget about Brady now. I mean,
Yeah.
he the GOAT, man. I mean, even though they did get 21-3 against the Panthers, he gonna feel disrespected about that. So like he gonna come in the game, he gonna show Lamar and the boys what like he still got it in him, but like I don't know, you can still see like little glimpse of this man. He need to retire too. He should have stick and retired, but he want to come back for one more year. So
well, who knows how many more years he's getting to?
No, he need to hang all the quarterbacks who are not mobile need to hang it up.
Yep.
Andy Dalton, Aaron Rodgers. Who else?
Oh, Aaron Rodgers is a whole different conversation.
Yeah,
he needs some wide receivers, man. I don't know what's going on up there in Green Bay.
Real.
That's a whole different conversation.
He hire a new trainer.
That too.
Him at $50 million or something, probably more than that, I think.
Jeez. Griffin.
I'm gonna go with Patrick on here and say the Ravens. Honestly, it's very tough, especially going through kind of like a traumatic loss like they did against the Panthers. You have to, and then go 4 days with small amounts of training and go into another game. And this time it's against, honestly, I'd say an AFC, one of the top teams of the AFC. I just think the Ravens give it to him straight. I just got a notification that, Rashad Bateman's back, Gus Edwards is back, and Mark Andrews is playing. I think that, they get it done on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, that might help them a little bit. So that'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see if this is a never blowout. But who knows? I don't know what will happen if the Bucks get blown out. I'm very curious. About that. All right, let's move on now to our London matchup. I think it's our final London matchup of the year, which is kind of exciting because it's the Broncos versus the Jaguars.
Oh my gosh.
Not the Broncos.
Not the Broncos.
It's the battle of the 2 and 5 teams. I mean, what more could you want in this? I'm really sorry the British who have to go see this. What do you guys have?
Oh,
Jacksonville.
Jags.
All right, no, I got Jacksonville. I hate the Broncos.
That Raiders bias really showing there, RJ. I respect it.
And like ETN and T Law, they about to all right. Watch what they do.
Yeah,
They're gonna cook up on them boys.
Yeah. And the Jaguars have had some really close ones lately that they just could not pull through. So, Patrick, do you want to add on to this?
Yeah. ETN and T-Law, being a Clemson student, like, I'm going to be rooting for Jacksonville a little bit. This is going to be exciting. I think it's time to utilize them like the first round pick they originally had plans for. It's going to be exciting. And while it does hurt seeing James Robinson go, I think the trade worked out for both teams. And you know how I feel about the Broncos. I don't want to get into it because they'll just get me angry this Thursday night. So I'm not going to talk about them, but the Broncos are just in shambles right now. And Jacksonville, it's gonna be a good pick-me-up win for them in London.
Griffin, sorry, I'm picking you last again.
It's okay, no worries. I like Jacksonville. Like Patrick says, a Clemson student, we love how ETN's getting that starting job. We love how Lawrence is, playing a large amount of times. And there was like this whole thing that Russ was doing like 4 hours of high knees on the plane aisle. I think this team, it's just a bad time to be a Broncos player. I just think the morale is so low, and I think it shows in this game, and I think the Jaguars go away with the win.
All right. Let's move on now to RJ's favorite team, the Raiders, going against the Saints. Who do you have for this one?
Our team, of course, even though Alvin Kamara, I just see a tweet. He talking kind of crazy.
What? Oh no, what is he saying?
he said some bad words. He said we are going to go in there and whip their A and make them feel good. Yeah, all right. You must be forgot who we got. We got everybody. We just not finding ourselves. We just need to know how to hold leads and win the game. But
Man.
I just feel like they're gonna hold Alvin Kamara under like 50 yards and like even though he like a receiving back, like exclusive, and like I feel like somebody needs to stick on him the whole game. If we take out Alvin Kamara and Chris Olave, I'm benching him this week. I don't want him to do that much. And Jameis Winston, if Max Crosby and Chandler Jones get back there a couple times, he'll mess up.
There you go. All right. I think, yeah, and I mean, I think it will be interesting with this one because the Raiders, I don't know, they've been kind of inconsistent, but I feel like they have a good shot going into New Orleans and winning this too. Griffin, I'm going to throw this to you. What do you think?
I like the Raiders as well. I think the Saints are always a wild card team because they'll like pull off a crazy win like they won against Seattle. But then again, they'll lose to I don't even know. They've had like some weird losses, but they're keeping games close. But I just think the Saints.
Colts?
Yes.
Or am I wrong?
Because they've only beaten the Falcons and they beat the Seahawks. They've only had 2 wins.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, Marshawn Lattimore all didn't practice today. I just think the injuries are kind of picking up, and I'm going to go with the more like safer option with Jacobs, Adams, and the Raiders.
All right, Patrick.
Real quick, Josh Jacobs, the way he's been playing as of late is huge for this Raider team. It's really going to open the door for Derek Carr and Devontae Adams to really, get going in the passing game. Darren Waller, I don't know what his status is right now. I know he didn't play last week, but hopefully he's healthier.
Oh, he practiced today.
Okay. The Saints are just too banged up. If Marshawn Lattimore is out for this game, Devontae is going to have 150 plus receiving yards, almost like something crazy like that. I think the Raiders offense is really going to explode and they're going to get the job done.
All right. Well, we have a sweep of the Raiders. All right. Let's see. We'll see what that works out on Sunday. Hopefully for RJ's sake, it does. All right, let's move on now to we've got the Patriots at the Jets. Who knew at this rate that the Jets would have a way better record than the Patriots, but you take it. Who do you have for this one? We have the Jets coming away with a win at home.
Yeah, Mr. Sauce gonna do it all.
Griffin, you're shaking your head.
No, I gotta support Leah, Daniel, and Spirit, and go with the Patriots there.
Oh, man, he'd be proud to hear that. All right, why is that?
After Breece Hall went down with his ACL injury, and I hope he has a speedy recovery. Always injuries suck in sports. The Jets' offense just looked really dormant. I hate to say it. On their offense, obviously the acquisition of Robinson is going to be huge. Michael Carter, their 2 running back set will be interesting, but I just think the Patriots get it done. They're a more run-heavy offense with Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson, who's been balling out. I just think, after like a loss like that, I think Belichick kind of rallies everyone together and pulls out a really close win.
Yep. Oh, that'll be interesting. You're right. I think it will be interesting to see how James Robinson fits into that Jets offense.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick?
I'm going to go with the Jets. The Patriots, yes, they do have the GOAT of coaches, Bill Belichick, but the GOAT of coaches is dealing with a terrible quarterback situation right now. I just thought it was so strange how they kind of just like Mac Jones, he barely played, and then they took him out, and then they threw in Zapp, and then Zapp came in and rallied troops for a sec, and bam, they're back to square one. It just wasn't looking good. I like the Jets defense a lot. Their cornerback duo of Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed, there's some ballers. And as long as the Jets just key the Pats rushing attack, I think they'll be all right. And Michael Carter is an established player on this Jets team. He's balled out before. And plus James Robinson. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with the duo of them. So I think the Jets, they're hot still. Breece Hall, losing him stinks, but it is what it is. Hopefully a speedy recovery for Breece, and the Jets will win this game.
All right. RJ?
I got the Jets, even though they're gonna be a close game. Like they might go in overtime, but I got the Jets pulling it out just because they got Sauce and like nobody scored on him yet.
I know every time you make the Sauce argument, it's a good argument, and I think they win every time you make it. So
yes, like, and we're really living in a world that like the Jets are 5-2, like
crazy.
Jets always been bad. Like
I love this for them. They deserve.
I'm proud of them boys.
I love this for them. Really, I do. Oh, see if it continues the hands of Bill Belichick.
And Patriots, I don't like how they just benched Mac Jones and they were so praising him last year and stuff. Like, why they do that, man?
Switching up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do on Sunday. I'm curious. All right, moving on. We've got our final game. We've got the 49ers at the Rams. All right. Is this the first game that they're having McCaffrey in, or was that last week? I think that was last
McCaffrey played last week.
Okay. Then that's what I thought. All right. Well, then who do you have for that?
49ers.
Niners.
All right. We've got a sweep here. I'll start with RJ here.
I'm just quick and say this. The Rams been looking suspect all year. Even though they won the Super Bowl, they still look suspect to me. And the 49ers just pick up CM, and they about to do some trick plays on them.
All right. Griffin?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the 49ers again here. I think they've played already. I think they did, and the 49ers did come away with the win. I just don't trust anybody on this Rams offense or defense. Everyone's getting burned. Everyone's messing up plays except Cooper Kupp, obviously. I just think, especially with this new McCaffrey, he knows the offense now. Like Patrick said, it takes a week to kind of like get used to that playbook. I think the 49ers kind of show the world like, yeah, this is our offense. Come at us.
Yeah. Patrick?
Once again, I love the aggressiveness of the 49ers acquiring CMC. I cannot wait to see what sort of packages Kyle Shanahan has cooked up. It's going to be really fun to watch. Last time these two teams played this year, Matthew Stafford was sacked 7 times, which is ridiculous. No quarterback wants to be getting that many pressures and that many hits in one game. It's exhausting. And like Griffin said, the only person I trust on this Rams offense is Cooper Kupp. Everyone else, maybe Higbee's okay, I guess, but everyone else is just so suspect. The Niners, McCaffrey will have another week at the playbook in his head. I think they're actually going to give him the ball a lot more. Last week against KC, they kind of stopped giving him the ball in the second half, but McCaffrey's going to have a lot of touches this game, and it's going to be exciting to see what San Fran does this week.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think it will be interesting to see what happens, and we'll see if San Fran can come away with the win again. All right, everyone. That's it for our episode tonight, and hopefully next week we'll be back in the studio, so tune in next week for another episode of The Extra Point.
All right, y'all.